a hard childhood. I am an old man now, but I remember my childhood like it was yesterday. My father was a kind man. He worked hard to take care of us. But when I was 5, he died in an accident. Everything changed after that. My mother married another man. He became my stepfather. He was not kind like my father. He was angry all the time. He yelled at me for small mistakes. If I broke a plate, he shouted. If I came home late, he punished me. I was scared of him. I missed my father so much. At night, I would cry in my bed. I asked myself, why did this happen to me? But there was no answer. My mother tried to help me. She told me to be strong. She said, one day you will grow up and leave this house. You will have a better life. Her words gave me hope. I decided to work hard and stay brave. But deep inside, I felt alone. As I grew older, I tried to stay away from my stepfather. I spent most of my time outside. I would go to the river and watch the water. It made me feel calm. I also liked to climb trees. I could sit in the branches for hours. Up there I felt safe. No one could bother me. It was like my own little world. At school, I worked very hard. I wanted to be the best in my class. I thought if I did well, maybe my stepfather would be proud of me. But he didn't care. One day I brought home a good report card. I showed it to him with a big smile. He looked at it for a second and said, "This doesn't matter. Go do your chores." His words hurt me. I wanted to cry, but I didn't. Instead, I promised myself something. I said, one day I will prove I am worth something. One day I will succeed. From that day on, I worked harder. I didn't care what he thought anymore. I started to dream about a better future. I didn't know how, but I wanted to change my life. When I was 16, I decided to leave home. My stepfather's anger was too much. I couldn't stay there any longer. I packed a small bag and walked away. I didn't have much money. I only had a few coins in my pocket. But I was not afraid. I was young, and I believed I could make a new life. At first, I found a job in a small shop. I worked long hours, but the pay was very little. Still, I saved every coin. I knew I had to be smart with my money. I lived in a tiny room above the shop. It was cold and empty, but I didn't care. I was free, and that was all that mattered. Sometimes I felt lonely. I missed my mother. I wondered if she thought about me. But I knew I couldn't go back. I had to keep moving forward. One day, a kind old man came to the shop. He saw me working hard and said, "You have a good spirit. Keep going and you will find success." His words gave me hope. After 2 years, I got a better job. I started working in a factory. The work was hard, but the pay was better. I woke up early every morning and worked until late at night. The factory was noisy and hot. My hands hurt from lifting heavy boxes, but I didn't complain. I knew hard work would help me build my future. I saved more money each month. I wanted to learn a skill so I could have a better life. One day I decided to take a chance. I signed up for night school. In school, I learned about machines and how they worked. At first, it was difficult. but I studied every evening after work. Slowly, I started to understand. My teacher saw my effort and said, "You have potential. Don't give up." His words gave me the strength to continue, even when I felt tired. Those days were not easy, but I was determined. I wanted to be more than just a worker. I wanted to change my life, and I knew I could do it. After a year of night school, I got a new job. I started working as a machine operator. It was a big step for me. I felt proud of myself. My boss noticed my hard work. He said, "You are smart and dedicated. Keep learning and you will go far." His words gave me hope. With my new job, I earned more money. I saved every dollar I could. I wanted to buy a small house and leave my stepfather's home. One day, I found a small house for sale. It was old, but it was perfect for me. I bought it with my savings. It felt like a dream. Living alone was peaceful. I could finally relax and think about my future. I spent my evenings reading books about machines and learning new skills. I knew I was moving forward. Step by step, my life was changing. And for the first time, I felt happy and free. Years went by and my hard work paid off. I became a supervisor at my job. People respected me, and I was proud of what I had achieved. One day, I met a kind woman named Sarah. She was smart and kind-hearted. We talked, laughed, and soon we fell in love. Sarah supported me in everything I did. She said, "You have come so far. Never stop believing in yourself." Her words stayed with me. We got married and built a happy life together. Our small house became a warm and loving home. We dreamed of a bright future. I often thought about my past. It was hard, but it made me strong. I forgave my stepfather and let go of the anger. Now I am an old man. I look back and see how far I've come. Life was tough, but I never gave up. And that, my friend, is my story.